Alright YouTube, welcome back to another episode of Oli Paints. I've got another round of these Porphis spray guns. This particular one is a PRD-51. Currently has, let's see if I can get this in here, a 1.0 LVLP setup in it. I do have the traditional, I think this is an MP 1.3, which I'm going to put into this gun for this video. But I also got another interesting Porphis. This is a PRD 627. Yeah, 627. And they were nice enough to engrave Oli paints in these as well. This particular one though, let's see if I can get this in here. Right there. What does that look like to you? If you're an Iwata user, that's a split nozzle. So we're going to see how this compares. I'll check the fan pattern on the wall, but we're going to see how they go. I've got a lift gate and a rear bumper that I'm going to spray in the booth. Paint code 3Q3, so Salsa Red Pearl from Toyota. I don't know why it's always Toyota parts that I'm spraying, but I'm going to go ahead and load the 1.3 into this purple one, do some sealer with this, and then I'll do my base coat and clear with this PRD 627. And we'll just see how it goes. I've been really enjoying this 715. You can see that these are the same color scheme. But the 715 has been awesome. I mean, I let it soak in the solvent tank, hoping that if it was going to fail, it's going to be sitting in thinner. Maybe the seals will swell and something will fail and nothing happens. So far so good. This thing has been pretty dang good to me. So I have high hopes for these two. And I do believe that Porphis has made it easier to order these. I will add the link to their store. I also believe they're available on like Alibaba and like some other places. So I'll add all those links in the description of this video. But without further ado, let me get these all set up, get my parts clean, and we'll get into the booth here in just a minute. Alright guys, like I said, I've got this lift gate in here, and I've already sprayed adhesion promoter on this rear bumper. That's why it's so shiny. Got it all taped up. Everything's good to go. First things first, we're going to check out the fan pattern on that purple one, which is 510, I believe. Yeah, PRD 510. So let's go ahead and get you set up, and we'll check out how big the fan is. Okay, and I literally just loaded this. This is the first time using this. Let's try 26 PSI, that sound fair? So at 26 PSI, full fan, full fluid, I'm going to do like I did the last time. That seems pretty standard. Yeah, I mean, it's just a nice oval pattern. It reminds me of the PRD. This is an MP, so a medium pressure air cap and nozzle setup. So yeah, that looks pretty standard. We'll also check that VS split nozzle on the other gun when we go to base coat. But nothing abnormal, perfectly even, nice and wet. Let's go ahead and spray some sealer with it and see what happens. I'm also going to keep it at that same pressure, just 26 PSI, full fan, full fluid. If I feel like it's over wetting, I'll wind the nozzle in just a little bit. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and start with that. So we'll go one turn in, start there. If I feel like I need more, I'll open it up more. All right, I mean, so far so good. I really hate swivels on the bottom of guns. I don't care what brand it is. This is something that we can do without. It just drives me bonkers because it swivels, hits your hand. It's fine if you have, say, like the detachable Wacom gauges, which is probably what I'm gonna end up using on these. But yeah, gun manufacturers, those are so unnecessary. I don't know a single person that actually enjoys using those because most of us have these cheater valves and it just gets in the way. So that's my only complaint. Other than that, trigger pull is pretty short. So at first, I mean, it's, you pull it back a ways and you think material is gonna come out. And I mean, it's very, very shallow trigger pull. So it's not hard to feather it though. Anyway, let's get this lift gate all sealed up. All right. All right, so that's the 510 for sealer. I don't have, I mean, it works nice. It's one of those things where it's like, how much different can a gun spray? If I compared this to something, what would I compare it to? Like a Pro Light, Techno Pro Light, something like that. The Pro Light has a little bit better trigger travel. This one, like I said, is very short, but for a sealer gun, they laid sealer down super smooth. So this is also the one that I got an LVLP set up for, so low volume, low pressure. We're gonna do another video. I'm gonna just get like my pancake compressor that I have at home. We'll chuck the 1.0 LVLP in this, and we'll see if we can't like paint something, you know, without running out of air. I know it's supposed to operate at a very low CFM. I think my pancake compressor will probably be pushing it, but we're gonna try it. But that's the PRD-51 for sealer. I'm gonna use the other one, the 620, whatever the number was, that other one I showed you earlier, for base coat and clear coat, the one that had the Iwata style split nozzle. We'll see how that goes. So let me go get this cleaned up. I'm gonna flash these two parts. We'll get base coat mixed up, and we'll get some color shot on these things. I figured I'd give you guys a little walk around real quick just to see how nice and smooth that 510 laid down the sealer. I mean, it's not incredibly hard to lay down sealer, but this is your foundation, so you want it to be smooth, and I'm pretty content with that. Like, I can't ask that thing to do much better than that. So anyway, let me go grab that other spray gun and mix up some color. All right, so again, this is the PRD-627. Kind of got a unique handle, very slim, very comfortable actually. And for this one, because it does have a swivel too, I did put my Walcom gauge on here. Figured this would be a little bit better because I can detach it. Let's do 25 PSI. Feels right? Yeah. So there's full fan. And we're on full fluid. Let's see, this is supposed to be a skinny, narrow fan pattern because it is the split nozzle. You guys can see that. It's just like an Iwata. Let's find out. Yeah, pretty much. So you see how this one's ovaled? This is just straight. So straight up and down. Judging by just trigger pull, it feels a lot like an Iwata. I kind of foresee this being a softer spray gun. We'll see how it lays this base coat down. Typically, split nozzles lay base coat pretty nice. So it's been a long time since I've used the split nozzle Iwata. So trying this in a different brand is going to be interesting. I did have a WS400 years ago. didn't really like it because that gun I found to be very finicky to set up. And when you were using various different clears, like setting it up for different products was just a pain. So I've avoided any of those Iwatas from now on, just because I don't care to spray with them. They always felt very slow to me, and you guys know that I like to move, you know what I mean? Iwata gives you a really great finish, but at the cost of your shoulder, and I just can't do that. So will be interesting to see what this spray's like. I think these are good and flashed off, so to go ahead and mask up and let's get some base coat slinging in here. And again, guys, I'm gonna just leave it at 25 PSI. Make sure that's open. And yeah, let's go ahead and do it. This is also 1.3, I forgot to say that. All right. So that went about how I expected it. It sprays like an Iwata. What this reminds me of is like an LS400, but it's easier to set up, if that makes sense. Unlike the Iwata, the fan isn't a mile long, so you could leave it full fan. It's just as controlled. It's very, very, very soft. Like, it's not pumping out a ton of material. So as far as transfer efficiency, I think that's probably a good thing. If you're a speedy guy like I am, is it a good thing? Maybe for difficult colors, it might work to your advantage. It's interesting though. I do see a couple of spots that I need to get a little bit more coverage here in the corners. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'll get you guys over there. We'll do that lift gate here in just a second.
I'm gonna run out of pace.
Yep, there goes. All right, I gotta go mix a little bit more base coat. I used more than I guesstimated, which isn't surprising. It's a really transparent red. So let me go mix up a little bit more base. I'm gonna cut you guys back on after this is all dehydrated, and we'll look and we'll see how even the base coat is. As I mentioned, it is not a speed demon. This isn't like the MP air cap that I got in my very first Porphis. But with that being said, it is very, very, very controlled. So for those that really like Iwata, this kind of, I feel like, would hit the mark. Plus it would be easier to set up than any Supernova that I've ever touched in my life. So that's probably a benefit. Let me go mix up some more color. We'll just have a look at this stuff before we chuck some clear in it. That's what I'm really interested for, is to see how it sprays clear coat. I'm gonna assume that it's gonna be kind of slow, but we'll see. Okay, so base coat is all dehydrated. Look, I mean, it looks pretty standard. I already hit it with my little Milwaukee light here, a little sun gun. I mean, everything looks pretty even. It's all ready to control coat, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, I'm gonna drop my pressure just a few PSI. I don't think it needs a lot. We'll drop it at, say, 22. And I think that's gonna be good. Let's just see how this goes. This should accelerate, or this should excel at control coats because it sprays very nice and soft. So control coating should be pretty easy.
Yeah, easy.
All right, let's do the bumper.
Coming.
This is where split nozzles shine because of that fan pattern, how it's just even top to bottom. When it comes to smoothing out metallic or pearl or whatever the case is, split nozzle tends to be pretty dang good and easy. So say you have struggles with silver or metallic gray, a split nozzle gun will help you, especially if you're spraying water, because most waterborne base coats, PBG, Sherwin, what other one? Speeds, you have to control coat them. Speeds, you do it while it's wet, but the more even that control coat is, the easier it is to just lay those pearls and metallics out. I don't know if you guys can tell in video. I'll walk you around this stuff, but this is very, very, very even, nice and smooth. Split nozzles, like they spray base coat great. I don't know how this is going to spray clear. If I don't like it, I'm going to grab the other PRD that I already have, because I know I like that one. But we're gonna give it a shot. But splits are really good for base coat because it's very controlled, especially if you're new to auto body and new to refinishing like this. It kind of gives you just that little bit more control, slows you down, so you really have to pay attention to what you're doing. But for somebody like me that really likes to go fast, it's not quite ideal. I do like medium pressure or RPs because they allow my arm speed to really get material on, and I'm so used to that. But we'll give it a go for clear coat. I'm gonna flash this stuff for 15 minutes, let it really get nice and dry, and then we'll clear it and see how this does for that. All right, so this, again, is with the 627, and it is the split nozzle. Super silky. It's exactly, I mean, that's exactly what you want to see before you clear coat something. Incredibly silky. For base coat, man, like this thing's pretty good. It's a little slow for me personally, but as I keep saying, if you like Iwata, this is a very cheap alternative, and it's still, the build quality of it is there. Like, it's nice. I dig it. All right, so here Here's the moment of truth. I also got my new filter in today, so thankfully I can use my hood for this. I don't know how this is gonna go. Could be decent, it could be really slow, I don't know. I'm gonna just start at 30 PSI. We'll start there, maybe the pressure will give me a little bit more speed, that's what I want. So, let's go ahead. This is CC250 with US4 reducer, pretty standard. I'm gonna do 2 coats. I'll just film the one, let you know how it goes. Okay, so that bump in pressure was definitely what it needed for clear coat because I don't have any real complaints. I mean, it's definitely not putting the amount of material that I'm used to on, but it's coming out pretty slick. So let's go ahead and do this lift gate. All right, so if their goal was to make it spray like an Iwata, be easier to set up and far cheaper, that's pretty much what I'm looking at right now. Like, I set it at 30 PSI, full fan, full fluid, split nozzle. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead, let this stuff tack up for 5 to 10 minutes. I'll spray my second coat, and then I'll walk you guys around and kind of give you my final thoughts on this pair. Because I think value for money, these Porphis are pretty good, and they're manufactured pretty dang nice. So let me get another coat on this in about 5 minutes, and I'll turn you guys back on, and we'll walk around this stuff. All right, guys, so that's the PRD-627 split nozzle for clear coat. That went way, way, way better than I was thinking it was going to. It is a little bit slower than their medium pressure. It's obviously nowhere near as fast as my Segola spray guns. But the finish is fantastic. I don't have any complaints in that department. It looks phenomenal. This gun sprays really nice. If you guys like the way, say, a Segola or a Sada RP sprays, the medium pressure cap would be the one for you. If you're a DeVilbiss or an Iwata fan, the split nozzle would be the one I would point you to because it sprays so much like both of those. Easy to set up like a DeVilbiss, but very controlled like an Iwata. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that other gun and we'll kind of chat about value for money, I guess. All right, guys, so that is the demonstration of these two Porphis guns. I did look up the price point on both of these. This one is like $199 USD, which is the PRD-51 series. And then this one, the 62 series, is $205. Is it worth it? For that kind of money, I think so. They both spray fantastic. Like I kept saying, this split nozzle, if you're an Iwata person, split nozzle is the move. If you're a SATA person, this medium pressure 715 is probably your jam. Either way, any three of these, like this one reminds me of a Pro Light. Keep in mind, guys, these are from China, and I know there are some people upset with me that I would even make a review video because they're Chinese spray guns. Most stuff these days is manufactured where? In China. Porphis has been nothing but nice to me. They sent me these, they even engraved them for me. And I'm not just saying that they're good because they sent them to me to review. Like, they actually are good. Like, you guys can just see that, like, the manufacturing of these is pretty spot on. There's no, it's all nice and clean. Like, you know, when you get a cheap spray gun and it just looks like a cheap spray gun, it's not the case with these. Like, they're built nice, quality materials. I really don't have any negative things to say about them. So they did finally get an online store, so I will link that in the bio. I did find that, to where you can order directly from them. And I believe that if you reach out via like Instagram or even through their email on their website, you can get them customized like this and get your name on them, whatever you want. So yeah, I definitely would say go for it. I mean, as a budget-friendly option, they spray great. This one I've also I left this for a prolonged period of time in my solvent gun washer to see if I could get the seals on like the nozzle or anything to swell and fail. As they do provide a rebuild kit in each box, and nothing happened. It still sprays exactly like the day I got it. Sealing up great. There's a seal in here that didn't swell, didn't move. I mean, yeah, guys, Porphis makes some quality stuff. Like, I like it. And to those that were upset with me for making these videos, that's tough. I enjoy trying different spray guns, and this is what I do for a living. So it's one of those things where it's like, cool, like something new. Why not try it? And in this case, it worked out pretty good because these are really nice tools. So anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate all of you guys commenting. If you guys want to follow me on social media, you guys can find me at Obioli Paints. I'll leave all the necessary links for these spray guns in the description of this video, so you guys can cruise through their website, see what else they have to offer. They have so many different nozzle setups and air caps for each of these that you could pretty much tailor it to exactly what you need. So yeah, anyway, until next time, thank you for watching.